Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the national news. Reps more inclusion of anti-corruption courses in Nigerian schools. Ogun government apologizes over delay in November salary payments. Edo government acquires drone to tackle kidnapping, banditry, erosion, others. Gunshots, injuries as transport union members clash in Ogun. Lagos police parade naval officer over killing of police officer. Pastor marries 10-year-old girl, gives birth to 2 children in 2 years in Ogun. And on sports, Awoniyi gets very good rating in Forest Carabao Cup win. Now the news in detail. The House of Representatives has resolved to review the primary and secondary school curriculum to integrate anti-corruption awareness courses and programs. This followed the adoption of a motion by Aisha Daku, APC Gombe, at the plenary in Abuja on Wednesday. The motion was jointly sponsored by Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila, Shehu Kakali, APC Sokoto, and Musa Bagos, PDP Plateau. The motion emphasized the need to introduce anti-corruption classes and training into the primary and junior secondary schools curriculum to aid in the fight against corruption. According to the motion, this will be by convening a meeting of stakeholders in the education management and regulation sector to consider the need for the introduction. Ms. Duku said corruption remained a scourge with devastating consequences on every facet of the Nigerian state, society, and sectors of the economy. She said the House was aware of the various anti-corruption efforts by successive government that had not put an end to corruption in the country. Ms. Duku said unless drastic measures were taken with utmost urgency, corruption threatened to destroy the fabric of Nigerian society by continuously sabotaging the national sense of right and wrong beyond repair. To the next story in Ogun State. The government of Ogun State has apologized to workers in the state over the delay in the payment of last month's salary. A statement shared by the senior special assistant to Governor Dapo Abiodun on new media, Emmanuel Ojo, said the delay was regretted. According to him, only about 15 to 20% of the state workers and workforce were yet to receive their November salaries as of Wednesday morning. Ojo blamed the delay on issues with about 4 banks, saying it is the first of such delay since the inception of the Abiodun administration over 3.5 years ago. Meanwhile, Ojo said the government had commenced the processing and payment of December salaries, saying staff are expected to start getting credit alert latest by Thursday morning. It will be recalled that the Ogun State government is one of the few state governments that have continued to pay the national minimum wage without fail, he said. Moving on to the next story on the national news this hour from Edo State. The Edo State government says it has acquired a 25-kilometer reach capacity drone to improve topographical mapping and land administration and erosion mitigation. According to this government, the drone can also assist security agencies to tackle kidnapping and banditry. The Edo State's Flood Erosion Watershed Management Agency, Edo FEMA, Chief Executive Officer Dr. Tom Obaseki, disclosed this while speaking with journalists at the Edo FEMA Drone Center in Benin City on Wednesday. Obaseki affirmed that the drone, with the capacity to capture 1,000 hectares of land space daily, was acquired through the agency's drone center. He noted that the drone can capture the entire city and give the exact measurement of land occupied for tax revenue generation and land administration. He explained that with its night vision capability, the drone can help security personnel carry out surveillance at night, tackle kidnapping and random banditry activities, facilitate the inspection of transmission lines and pipelines, and enhance oil spill investigations, among other security and emergency needs. To the next story. There were heavy gunshots in Ogun State on Tuesday as rival transport union members clashed in Itori area of Ewekoro local government. Leaders of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, RTN, their counterpart in Ogun State Park Management, OXPAM, and those of the newly approved Ogun State Operations Management Service, OSOMS, had attacked one another, firing shots and using other weapons. The transporters were said to have met at Itori Day, an annual festival organized by the Olu of Itori, Obafatai Akamo. Daily Post learned that some of the union leaders sustained serious bullets and machete injuries in the melee, which disrupted the festival for hours, even before it was brought to understanding. In the melee which disrupted the festival for hours, even with Governor Dapo Abiodun and other government functionaries in attendance, it was said that while some leaders of the union sustained varying degrees of injuries, those with metaphysical powers proved their mettle by escaping unscathed. Eyewitness account that it had the chairman of the RTN in Ogun, Akibu Titilayo, popularly known as Efele, and others were attacked in the fracas. It was gathered that issues about ticketing, especially as it has to do with the newly created union, OSOMS, had triggered the chaos. Moving on to the next story. The Lagos State's Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alabi, on Wednesday paraded 14 suspects, including 2 naval ratings, Nnamani Anointing and Onyekachi Egwin, involved in the alleged killing of an assistant superintendent of police, Abiodun Ezekiah, in the satellite town area of the state. Alabi, while parading the suspect at the command headquarters in Ikeja area of the state, said the duo perpetrated the act during a traffic stop. He said this deals with a case of the murder of ASP Abiodun Ezekiah, 53, by 2 naval ratings, Seaman Nnamani Anointing, 28, and OSMTV Onyekachi Egwin, 27. The ASP died when the suspect stabbed and killed him during a traffic stop that generated into a face-off at the satellite area of Lagos State. The suspect stabbed 3 other civilians in their bid to escape. The stabbed persons are responding to treatment. The command is currently working with the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, Ministry of Justice, Alausa, Ikeja, to ensure that justice prevails. To the next story from Ogun State. A 45-year-old pastor living in Shaje, Abeokuta, Ogun State, capital, simply identified as Pastor Paul, has landed into trouble after reportedly marrying a girl. The pastor was reported to have hypnotized the victim and got her pregnant twice, which resulted to 2 children within 2 years. Information reached monitored a popular radio program by a veteran broadcaster, Makinde Fasale, on Tuesday in Abeokuta, report that the victim, simply identified as Amina, accused the pastor of hypnotized her. Speaking on her audio in the hand of the pastor, Amina said she did not know what came over her when she agreed to marry a 45-year-old man and gave birth to 2 children in 2019 and 2020. She said, "I know it's not ordinary. The first time the pastor would sleep with me was done in a violent way. He flouted me by tightening my hands in the chair and slept with me. He impregnated me and I gave birth to 2 children in 2 years. I gave birth to first child in 2019 and I gave birth to second child in 2020. Moving on to the last story coming from sports. Super Eagles striker Taiwo Awoniyi got very good rating as he helped Nottingham Forest defeat Blackburn Rovers 4-1 to progress into the Carabao Cup quarterfinals on Wednesday. The rating, which was done by Nottingham Post, was for every Forest players who featured in the round of 16 fixtures. Awoniyi marked his impressive performance by getting Forest's 3rd goal in the 79th minute and got 7.5 rating out of 10. And commenting on Awoniyi's performance, Nottingham Post wrote, "Thoroughly deserved his goal and got into some really good positions before that without making the most of them. Could easily have had a hat-trick at least." Emmanuel Dennis, who replaced Awoniyi with 8 minutes left, got 6 out of 10, with Nottingham Post writing, didn't have too long to make an impact on the pitch. The last time Awoniyi scored for Forest was in October when he netted the only goal in 1-0 win against his former club Liverpool. It is his 4th goal in all competitions for the newly promoted club this season. That story ends the national news from BGI TV. Before we go, some major headlines. Reps more inclusion of anti-corruption courses in Nigerian schools. Ogun government apologizes over delay in November salary payments. We also brought to you, Edo government acquires drone to tackle kidnapping, banditry, erosion, and others. On sports, Awoni get very good rating in Forest Carabao Cup win. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22 for advert placement of your goods and services. Coverage of events and function. Please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placement only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawal.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.